Ever since that super lewd trailer came out and everyone went into an uproar to find and discover what kind of etchiness and fan services that this anime has prepared for us, well, when it's released, that is why I took it upon myself to find out and delve more into the details of this supposedly lewd manga, and you won't believe what I found. Hello everybody, and welcome to the channel. If you haven't liked and subscribed already, then please do, since that'll help me out a lot. And don't forget to press on that bell icon to stay notified of all of our latest new videos, so you won't miss a thing. And obviously beware of the following spoilers, since I will be talking about the manga now, in 3, 2, 1. As I dove into the first chapter, I was kinda surprised with what I found. No fan service.
Are you sure about that?
Excluding the towel scene. No etchiness or any wild step-sister fantasies to be seen anywhere. All I found was plain old storytelling. With the two new siblings washing the dishes, the atmosphere suddenly becomes heavier when she gives him that look. For reference, by that look, I mean that look that your mom gives you when you've done f***ed up. And you know that you're in deep shit. Yeah, that look. While blackmailing him and giving him a cute little warning that if he so much as tries to reveal their past, he will become mincemeat and served for the next day's dinner, to which he shrugs off so nonchalantly and goes off to his room without giving a flying shit, which is kinda something I would have done just to piss her off. So it was kinda funny. However, things get spicy and more interesting when the death trap competition begins, Kaguya-sama style. Apparently, she can't take being called by her first name by her ex-boyfriend, so now she decided that he needs to address her with One-san, making her the older one. And revealing the fact that they actually share the same birthday, of course, the main character won't have it and he won't accept calling her One-san. So instead, he urges her to call him Oni-chan.
Emotional, damn it!
Things keep going back and forth with the banter between the two until they reach an agreement. Whichever acts as a boyfriend/girlfriend, or basically not as a sibling, is the loser, and will have to call the other with honoraries. And almost immediately, she loses by calling him with his last name, which is something siblings wouldn't do. As she gives in to her loss and calls him Oni-chan, he blushes like a beet red tomato and loses the bet as well, which turns things in her favor once again. And as he pats her head and apologizes, they are both reminded of their old days as couples. And she lashes out with him, with her face blushing, and rushes out of his room, with the last thing she said being the iconic Oni-chan no baka. The second chapter takes us back in time for when they first met on a summer day in the library, where Yume confessed her feelings to him for the first time. Since then, they became the most introverted, awkward couple you might think of. However, with time, Yume learns to be a bit more energetic and opens to things around her, gaining lots of more friends in the process, which didn't sit well with Irido-kun. And the Green Beast emerged out of nowhere. By Green Beast, I mean his jealousy erupted with the power of 1,000 volcanoes, so just making sure we are all on the same page here. Moving on, his jealousy showed a dark side of him that Yume never has seen before. It's so toxic that it makes nuclear waste an environmentally friendly substance. And even though he apologizes to her later on, that same day the damage was already done, and what was broken could never be fixed or stitched back up. And with the days, they grew further and further apart, ending their little love story. It's kind of tragic and sad, really. How they both waited the other to text first, but neither did. If only one of them took the first step, they would have still been a couple by now, which could have complicated things even more, seeing as they became siblings. It would have been funny to watch their interactions, though. And of course, they had to make fun of her cooking, making it seem like an industrial waste that you can eat and survive from once in your life, which made her really pissed at his remarks and was funny on its own. The banter between the two of them and the battle that started in Chapter 1 between them kept raging on until they reach high school, and finally, they are both ready to spread their wings of liberty. And obviously from the first day off, she became the most popular girl in school for her looks and intellect as well. Iburu-kun, well, he wasn't off to a good start to say the least. However, the moment everyone discovers that Yume is his stepsister, they all become eager to befriend him in order to use him as a stepping stone to reach her, which he obviously knows, and protects her from weirdos that even attempt to do so like a good older brother would. The drama doesn't start off here though. It begins when a clingy friend introduces herself to Yume and shatters all expectations and lights up all the red flags with her interactions. Whether it was trailing Iridu back home and setting up a fifth chair at the table, or it was her confession and wanting to marry him. This girl is just going way too far, and the poor guy has no way whatsoever to deal with the likes of clingy girls like her. There was even a rumor about how she was so clingy and caring. She stressed out her previous boyfriend and put him in the hospital for days.
Seriously, what the f*** are you doing?
Sheesh. I definitely don't want to be her boyfriend anytime soon. The manga is, overall, funny with a lot of wholesome chapters as well as sad ones that sheds light on how their loving relationship turned to one of mutual hate. The manga is still pretty new with an interesting to say the least story that is still ongoing, and though I am not that much of a manga fan, I have binged that manga in one sitting since I genuinely enjoyed the banter they had. The fights, the makeups, it was all fun to me, and I enjoyed every little aspect of this manga. There's just not a dull moment when it comes to the story and the weird kind of messed up relationship that they have right now. Personally, I didn't expect to have so much fun reading a manga of this genre to say the least, and I was often surprised by how much I actually enjoyed it and had fun reading it. I just hope that for their sakes, the charm and enthusiasm I felt while reading the manga is translated to the anime as best as they can. The manga, as I said before, is still an infant growing and has a lot of potential in the upcoming chapters. I can feel it. Now, to the serious big boys talk, do I recommend this manga? If you like this kind of genre and are looking for an interesting story, then yes, I definitely recommend that you check it out. Was it fun reading? Hell yeah, it was. The characters are easily relatable to everyday relations and how one misunderstanding can ruin everything in a relationship. Ibunu is your usual introvert that keeps to his books, but even so, managed to get a girlfriend. He blows up big time, but he somehow matures and learns from past mistakes, which is translated perfectly through his actions. And I like that about this manga. Overall, to me, that character growth is vital within a story. Overall, I enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed this video, then go ahead and give it a read. You won't regret it. Trust me. And as for now, I'll catch you later. See you in the next one.